There's this operating system that I've known about for years, but for some reason, I never really took the time to check it out properly. That operating system is ReactOS. Every now and then I'd see screenshots of it online, and honestly, it just looked like Windows 2000 or maybe Windows XP. I think that's interesting, and then move on. But recently, I decided it was finally time to take a closer look and see what ReactOS is actually all about. When you visit the ReactOS website, the first thing you see is a pretty bold statement. It says, "Imagine running your favorite Windows applications and drivers in an open source environment you can trust." That's the mission of ReactOS. Now, that's a pretty ambitious goal. An open source operating system that's compatible with Windows software and drivers? You might be wondering why ReactOS looks so much like Windows 2000. That's because the project started in the late 1990s when Windows 2000 was the latest version of Windows NT, so its design was heavily influenced by that era. The name ReactOS itself comes from the project's reaction to Microsoft's dominance in the desktop operating system market. The goal was to create a free and open source alternative that could run Windows software and drivers. Officially, ReactOS targets compatibility with Windows NT systems, especially Windows XP and Windows Server 2003. So while it looks like Windows 2000, it's actually trying to provide an open source replacement for the Windows XP and Server 2003 generation of Windows. And yes, ReactOS is completely legal. Even though it can run many Windows applications, it doesn't contain any Microsoft Windows code. Instead, the developers have rebuilt everything from scratch using a process called clean room reverse engineering. That approach is one of the biggest reasons ReactOS has taken nearly 3 decades to develop and is still considered alpha software today. Recreating Windows behavior without copying Microsoft's code is an enormous challenge. On top of that, Windows keeps evolving. Rather than trying to chase every new version of Windows, the ReactOS team focuses mainly on the Windows XP and Server 2003 era, which helps keep the project manageable. Now, enough of the history lesson. The real question is, what is ReactOS actually like to use today? Let's download the ISO and install it. Heading over to the ReactOS website, we're greeted by the latest stable release, ReactOS 0.4.15. You'll notice there are two download options available, Boot CD and Live CD. For this review, I'm going to download the Boot CD version. The Boot CD is the standard installation image. Think of it just like a Windows installation DVD. You boot from it, install ReactOS onto your hard drive or virtual machine, and then reboot into your newly installed system. The file size is surprisingly small, only around a few hundred megabytes. That's tiny compared to modern operating systems where installation images can easily exceed 5 or even 10 gigabytes. You'll also see a Live CD option underneath. Unlike the Boot CD, the Live CD allows you to run ReactOS directly from the disk or ISO without installing it first. It's useful if you simply want to test the operating system or check hardware compatibility before committing to an installation. Before we go any further, it's important to remember that ReactOS is still officially in alpha. That means it's a work in progress and isn't considered stable enough for everyday use. The developers themselves don't guarantee system stability, file safety, or even that certain features will work correctly. So while ReactOS is fascinating from a technical standpoint, it's best treated as an experimental project rather than a replacement for your main operating system. One thing to note is that the official ReactOS release ISOs are currently 32-bit. If you want to try the experimental 64-bit version, you'll need to use the nightly builds, which are automatically generated from the latest development code. Nightly builds include the newest fixes and features, but they're also less tested and can sometimes be even less stable than the regular alpha releases. Interestingly, some users in the community report that certain nightly builds can actually behave better on real hardware because they contain newer driver and hardware compatibility improvements. But since development changes constantly, your experience can vary depending on the build you're using. So if you're experimenting, the stable release is usually the safer starting point, while nightly builds are where you'll find the latest progress, especially for 64-bit support. With that out of the way, let's install ReactOS. I'll be installing it inside VirtualBox, since that's the easiest and safest way to test it. However, ReactOS can also be installed directly on real hardware if you want to try it on an actual PC. If you do plan to install it on hardware, the ReactOS project maintains a compatibility list where you can check which devices, drivers, and components are known to work before getting started. For this video though, we'll stick with VirtualBox and see how well ReactOS performs. It looks like I already have a ReactOS virtual machine from an earlier test. Instead of reusing this one, let's create a fresh virtual machine so we can go through the installation process from scratch and see exactly what the experience is like for a new user. As you can see, as soon as I enter the name ReactOS, VirtualBox automatically detects the operating system type and suggests Windows Server 2003. That's because ReactOS is primarily designed for compatibility with the Windows XP and Server 2003 generation of Windows. This is the minimum memory, which is 512 megabytes, but I will give it 4 gigabytes. I think this was the maximum for the 32-bit edition back then. For the storage, I'll just give it 50 gigabytes. Now let's go ahead and boot up the virtual machine and start installing ReactOS. The screen is a bit tiny, so let me enable scaled mode so we can get a better look at what's going on. That's much better. Looking at this installer, it feels almost identical to the Windows XP setup process, at least from what I remember. I installed Windows XP countless times back in the day, so this brings back a lot of memories. The installation is pretty straightforward as well. In most cases, you can simply accept the default options and keep pressing enter to move through the setup. And that's it. ReactOS is installed and now rebooting. That was quick. Now we just need to finish the initial setup. This is the part where ReactOS launches its setup wizard and asks for things like your name, organization, administrator password, and a few regional settings, just like we used to on Windows XP and 2000. This next screen lets you choose the appearance of the desktop. There are a few different themes available, but I'm going to stick with the classic theme. It feels the most authentic and really matches the Windows 2000 and early Windows XP look that ReactOS is going for. All right, now that we're at the desktop, let's install the VirtualBox Guest Editions. This should improve the overall experience by giving us better display support, smoother mouse integration, and the ability to adjust the screen resolution more easily. There we go. That's much better. We now have full screen support. Once you reach the desktop, you'll probably notice just how familiar everything feels. The start menu, the taskbar, the control panel, and even the overall layout are very similar to what you would have seen in Windows XP and Windows 2000. If you've used those operating systems before, you'll feel right at home navigating around ReactOS. There isn't much of a learning curve because everything is laid out in a very familiar way. One thing that also stands out is how responsive the system feels. Applications open quickly, menus are snappy, and the operating system runs smoothly, especially inside a virtual machine. ReactOS even comes with a web browser installed by default. It's based on Wine Internet Explorer and is mainly included for compatibility with Windows applications and web-based components. It can browse websites, but don't expect a modern browsing experience like you'd get with Chrome or Firefox. Many modern websites either won't work correctly or will have limited functionality. You'll also find all the basic software you'd expect from a traditional operating system already included. There's a calculator for quick calculations, Paint for simple image editing, text editors for writing documents or notes, media players for playing audio and video files, a few classic games, and various system utilities for managing the operating system. It's a very simple setup. But the feature that really caught my attention is the application manager. Think of it as ReactOS's built-in software center. Instead of manually searching the internet for programs, downloading installers, and hoping everything works correctly, you can browse a collection of software directly from within the operating system. Now, there's one thing worth keeping in mind about the application manager. Since ReactOS is currently a 32-bit operating system, many of the applications available here are also older 32-bit versions. So don't expect the latest version of Firefox, LibreOffice, or other modern software. In many cases, ReactOS includes versions that are known to have a better chance of working with the operating system. With just a few clicks, you can install applications such as 7-Zip, LibreOffice, Firefox, VLC Media Player, and many other popular programs. For an operating system that's still in active development, this is incredibly convenient. What makes ReactOS especially interesting, though, is its focus on Windows compatibility. Many older Windows applications can run on ReactOS without modification. In some cases, you simply install the program and use it much like you would on a real Windows machine. Now, compatibility isn't perfect. Some applications work flawlessly, some work with minor issues, and others may not run at all. But considering that ReactOS is attempting to recreate Windows functionality from scratch, the results are genuinely impressive. And that's really the philosophy behind the entire project. Let's answer the most important question. Who is ReactOS for? ReactOS is ideal for open source enthusiasts, retro PC fans, developers, virtual machine users, people experimenting with Windows compatibility. It is also useful for learning how operating systems work. However, I would not currently recommend ReactOS for business critical systems, daily work computers, or mission critical environments. The project simply isn't mature enough yet for those use cases. The most impressive thing about ReactOS isn't its software compatibility. The most impressive thing is that it exists at all. Creating an open source operating system compatible with Windows is an enormous engineering challenge. Microsoft has spent decades developing Windows. ReactOS developers have been reverse engineering and recreating many of those components from scratch. The fact that ReactOS can boot, run Windows applications, install software, connect to networks, and provide a familiar Windows experience is already an incredible achievement. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell for more Linux, open source, and operating system content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.